guys, this is Card Warriors Magic, and I have a really cool card trick that I think you guys will really like today. So I'm going to go ahead and perform it, and then I'll get into it. The performance is going to be a little bit different because it's going to be hard to do without a spectator here, but it's still going to be okay-ish. So I'm going to go ahead and perform it right now. So I have two card decks right here. I'm going to go ahead and have you take one. I'm just going to talk to an imaginary person right there. And what I'd like you to do is take the deck, put it behind your back, take a card from it, put it on top, flip it over, and then cut it into the deck, all without you or me looking, okay? So go ahead and do that. So let's say they take it. I'm not even going to look. So they flip a card, put it on top, flip it over, and cut it into the pack. Okay. Boom. Now I'm going to do the same with my pack while you would have been doing that. So I'm going to do this, and I'm not even going to look at which card I flip over. Okie dokie. So we both flipped a card over. We don't know what they are, right? Because we did it behind our backs. And we're going to go ahead and go into your pack and see which card that you flipped over, okay? So I'll go through. And just like that, you flipped over the Queen of Spades, okay? So we'll leave that Queen of Spades for there right now. And square this up a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and see which one I flipped over, okay? Boom, Queen of Spades, okay? So I flipped over the Queen of Spades as well. So you know what? That's pretty cool, right? We actually both happened to flip over the Queen of Spades without even knowing. But what's also really cool is that they came from the other card deck. So that was the trick, guys, and be sure to stick around for the tutorial. Okay, guys, so this is how you're going to do the card trick. It's honestly really easy. It just requires a slight bit of setup, but I think it will absolutely blow your spectators away because I was really impressed when I saw it, actually. So, yeah. So what you're going to do, you're going to need two card decks. If you guys happen to have a standard red or blue bicycle, that would work fine. Just two decks, basically just alternating color, but like same suits and everything like that. Everything on the faces looks the same, but the back doesn't have to. So all you need to do is take a random card out from one deck. Let's say we just use the Ace of Spades, okay? Just for the sake of the trick. We take the Ace of Spades out of one deck and the Ace of Spades out of the other deck, okay? Just like so. And then what we would do, since we have to get the card in the other pack, you take the Ace of Spades from one pack, put it face up in the lower portion of the other deck, right? So black one goes into the Ivory Tycoons, near the bottom, maybe here, face up, okay? Same thing with this one, near the bottom, face up, right? So now that we've done that, we should have a black deck with a face-up Ace of Spades in it with the other color near the bottom. And with this one, face-up Ace of Spades in it near the bottom, okay? So now you are all set to go. You're going to go ahead, don't shuffle up the decks because that will mess up the order, and say, okay, look, I'm going to hand you a card deck, and what I'd like you to do, take it and put it behind your back. Now you're just walking them through what they're going to do. Take it, put it behind your back, put a card on top, whichever card you want, flip it over, and cut it into the pack. So they're going to do this, and they're actually going to do this. They're going to take it behind the back. They won't know what it is. I won't know what it is. They're going to take a card. Whoops. They're going to take a card, flip it over after putting it on top, and then cut it into the pack. What this has actually done is gotten the Ace of Spades is still face up, but the Nine of Hearts is below it. That's the card that they flipped over, right? So basically, once they did that, the Ace of Spades is going to be on top of their face down card somewhere in the deck, but we'll get back to that in a second. Now what you're going to be doing while they do that is putting this deck behind your back. and you're going to be doing the same thing, but actually in reality you're not going to be doing anything. You don't want to mess with this deck. Most what you want to do maybe is just cut it once, but you don't want to flip over another card. Since it's behind your back, they won't know if you actually did it or not, but just act like you did, okay? So you can pretend to make some sounds, just making some sounds with cards, and then maybe cutting it. Just keeping that Ace of Spades the only face-up card in this pack, okay? Now, you're going to say, okay, are you done? Just make sure they do it exactly and that they only cut their deck once. So literally, all they're going to do is take a card, put it on top, flip it over, cut it once, only once, okay? Because if they cut it more than once, you see what might happen is that the Ace of Spades might accidentally go under their real flipped over card, okay? So you're going to see, okay, now let me go ahead and see which card you flipped over. Go just little by little, couple cards, and see, okay, I don't see it yet. And then go ahead and once you get to the card that you actually flipped over, the Ace of Spades, say, okay, you flipped over this card. They will think that that is the one that they flipped over. They don't know that their card that they flipped over is actually below it, okay? Just all you have to do is put that on. It does not matter that there's another face-up card in it because we don't look at this deck again, okay? So you have that right there, and you say, okay, you flipped over the Ace of Spades. Don't show the back yet. That's a little bit later. Then you can say, you can even hand them your deck and say, hey, would you pull out the card I flipped over? Okay, look, I flipped over the Ace of Spades too. How weird. They'll be like, oh, that's wow. They'll obviously be impressed at that because we both flipped it over, right? And we didn't even know. But the kicker ending is that you can even flip them over and say, wow, that's pretty cool, but look, the cards were actually from the other deck. So not only did we flip over the same card, we flipped over the only card in our deck that was from another color, right? So it's honestly such a great trick, guys. I honestly really love it. It fools so many people, but I think the key to it is just to remember that they have to follow your exact instructions and they can't be looking. They don't want to be peeking behind their back. They're just going to put a card on top, flip it over, cut it into the pack, and then there will already be your face-up card. Let's say it was the Nine of Spades. Your face-up card, the Nine of Spades, will then be above it, and just don't spread through far enough so that they can see their other face-up card that they actually flipped over. We want to make them think that the card that we flipped over is the one that they flipped over. So that's really all you need to remember. It is a beginner card trick. I'm pretty sure it's beginner. We'll see in the title. I can't remember right now, but such a great card trick, guys. I highly would recommend doing it. Just a little tip for you guys. When you can do magic in the spectator's own hands, that's way more impressive. So it's just so awesome. So yeah, that was the trick, guys. Be sure to like the video below if you would. Hit that like button, and also comment whatever you guys think. If you performed it, tell me how that went. Just whatever you guys comment below. We'd love to see your comments, and also hit that subscribe button right there. We would really appreciate that. So thanks so much, guys.